Today I'm going to discuss the Georgian period part 2. In my previous video, I have discussed the Georgian period part 1. In my previous video, I have discussed lots of questions and important facts which happening in the literary part of the English literature. Now I am going to discuss the Georgian period part 2. How old was a Georgian first when he arrived in England to take up the throne? 54. Georgian's arrival provoked a revolt in the Scotland led by the James Stewart. By what name is he better known? The Old Planter. Which event in the 1720 has been called the world's first financial crash, the South Sea bubbles? Which Georgian Prime Minister political motto was "Let sleeping dog lie"? Robert Walpole. What was a George II, the last English monarch to be born outside the UK? What was the tax rate in the 1736 in order to the curb consumption gin? What relaxation was the George III to George II? Grandson. In which year did the House of Commons vote to um, abolish the Atlantic slave trade? 1807. And finally, George III was written longest reigning king. For how long was he on the throne? 59. In the 18th century, in England, who were the gentry? The landed gentry or the gentry is a large historical British social class of the landowner who could live entirely from the rental income or at the least had a country estate. So here I am going to recall solve the question in order to make you understand in a deep manner. How old was George first and when he arrived in England to take up the throne? 54. George I's arrival provoked a revolt in the Scotland led by the James Stewart. By what name is he better known? The Old Planter. Which event in the 1720 has been called the world's first financial crash, the South Sea Bubble? Which Georgian Prime Minister's political motto was "Let sleeping dogs lie"? Robert Walpole. What was George II, the last English monarch to be born outside the UK? What was taxed in 1736 in order to curb consumption gain? What relaxation was George III to George III grandson? In which year did the House of Commons vote to abolish the Atlantic slave trade? 1807. And finally, the George III was Britain's longest reigning king. For how long was he on the throne? 59. In the 18th century in England, who were the gentry? The landed gentry or the gentry is a large historical British social class of the landowner who could live entirely from the rental income or at the least had a country estate. So these are the most important questions and important facts which describe and explain the Georgian period. In this period, lots of literary things and happening according to the English literature and history of English literature, which influenced the great writers of this period and the literary works. For example, novel, prose, drama, poetry, and etc. So these are the most important facts which influence their work and make them hmm, and uh, and give them new ideas and thoughts in order to write their work in a new way. And those are important facts of this period. The the critics and the writers both are influenced by their literary works. Thank you you so much. I hope you like this video, which is very important according to your examination point of views. Thank you so much.